You've seen it, scroll for 5 minutes, and it's right there. Consistency is key. Never miss a workout. Body weight circuits on the beach because there is no excuse, not even on vacation, because you can have a gym anywhere you want. If you took 1 week off, were you ever really committed in the first place? With all that messaging, the guilt shows up right behind it. That quiet voice that says you should be doing better, or you get home from a week away, step on the scale, feel a little puffy in your clothes, and suddenly the trip you needed is something you have to apologize for. What I want you to sit with today, whether you're training for a specific race or a specific competition, or you're a woman trying to prioritize her own health in a life that does not slow down, this happens to you. It probably happened to you this summer. And this episode is going to get into it. It's not another get back on track pep talk. I'm going to be going into why the whole framework of falling off and getting back on is broken. And I'm going to show you what actually works instead, because I've been building training plans this way for over a decade. Welcome to Miles from Review, the podcast powered by Catfit Strength, where busy women like you find practical solutions to fuel your fitness journey with authenticity and resilience. I'm Kat, your host, a mom of 2 active boys, a business owner, and an ultramarathon runner, and a strength trainer in her 40s. With nearly 2 decades of experience, I'm here to help you cut through the noise of fads, hacks, and quick fixes. This is a space where we celebrate womanhood and motherhood, all while building strength and resilience and reconnecting with you from a place of self-compassion and worthiness. Whether you're lacing up your running shoes to go out for a run, driving your kids to practice, or squeezing in a moment for yourself, I'm right here in the trenches with you. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Miles from Review. I'm Kat, your host. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a longtime listener, welcome back. It is summertime and it is now August. I am getting my kids prepped for school. I am dreading the end of summer, even though it doesn't end in August. It ends in September, but it feels like it ends in August. If you have school-aged children, if you have college-aged children, you are getting them ready and you're, about to send them off in a week or two, or maybe you've already sent them back to school. And you're probably somewhere in the midst of feeling this, feeling like this summer you enjoyed so much that maybe your workout routine fell off. Maybe it was doing body weight circuits. Maybe you do feel a little bit puffy. And I want to end this episode with some tangible takeaways, like I try to do with every episode. So we're going to start out with some research. There's a randomized controlled trial out of the University of South Florida published in 2021 in the Journal of the International Society of Sports and Nutrition. And the researchers took resistance-trained adults and split them into 2 groups, one that followed a rigid structure, very specific, very little room to deviate. The other followed a flexible approach, same general targets, but built to adapt to their life. Both groups did fine in the structured phase. However, this is the important part. In the months after the structured phase ended, once real life came back into the picture, the flexible group kept building lean muscle. The rigid group actually lost some of what they gained. The structure left no room to bend and held up fine under supervision, but it did not hold up once life does what it does. And the fitness industry that I still don't fully understand. And I've watched it slowly get better over the decade plus I've been in the industry and not exclusively working with athletes, because that's what I did prior to that. We tell people to be disciplined and we tell them what discipline looks like. Never stopping, constantly staying committed to your workouts, never deviating. And then we act surprised when they burn out, get hurt, or just quit entirely. Like it's their fault. But the fact is, it's not their fault. Life doesn't stop. Life never quits. And there's more to this. And I didn't learn to train this way on accident. I learned it from being a college athlete, and I learned it for programming college athletes. When I built a yearly plan for one of my athletes, it wasn't just picking random exercises and pushing them. It was working around their academic calendar, their summer commitments, the championship schedule, every plan had to shape it. There was a build phase, a peak phase, a maintenance phase, a recovery phase, and none of those phases was the wrong way. They were all a plan. Now, most of my clients aren't peaking for a championship meet, but that doesn't mean the framework stops applying because you're an athlete in your daily life, whether you're a woman perfecting that one-handed stroller stow while the kid sits on your hip, or you're carrying and moving boxes up 3 flights of stairs to get your kid into their college dorm. You're training every single day, whether you call it that or not. Your workouts should be setting yourself up for that life, feeling stronger, doing the actual things you do, fewer aches, fewer nagging pains, a body that holds up and keeps you independent for the long haul. And that doesn't come from a plan that treats you like a category. It comes from a plan that treats you like an individual because it was built by someone who's actually looking at you. So here's when August comes in. We're still in summer, and technically the season isn't over. But August is the hinge. The slower schedule, the trips, all of it starts tightening back up. School's coming and the calendar fills back in. And a lot of people are asking themselves, how do I get back to the gym? How do I get back into a routine? Because they feel like they fell off the wagon. And I'm going to challenge that idea directly. There's no wagon. There's no on, there's no off. There's just a rhythm of your life. And right now, your life is shifting rhythm. So instead of thinking getting back on because you fell off at the start of the summer, I want you to think about looking at your life in a build, peak, maintain, and recover phase. And I'm going to flesh that out for you. This is exactly how I build every program inside CatFit. Not a plan that asks you to rearrange your life around it, a plan that already knows what your life looks like and moves with it. That's the difference you feel in the first few weeks. You're not white knuckling your way through a workout that assumes you slept 8 hours and have 90 minutes free. You're doing strength that fits into the day you actually have, delivered right to you through the CatFit app. So it's there when you need it, not the other way around. What clients tell me they feel isn't just stronger, it's steadier. Less like they're fighting their own calendar every week, more like their training is part of how their week runs. That's what a build, peak, maintain, recover structure gets you when it's built for a real person instead of a generic one. If that's the kind of training relationship you're looking for, reach out to me. You can go up to the show notes, click on the link, and I would be happy to chat with you. All right, let's get back to the episode. Here's what I want to expand on. This isn't just a framework getting back into August. This is how your entire year should move. So let's walk through the 4 phases of a full yearly cycle, not just a reset button. And these cycles can change. I'm just using an entire year because it's a little cleaner. I can't show every single scenario. I would love to, but we'd be here for a very long time. So the build phase. This is your entry point whenever it happens. So like right now, it's August, but the build phase shows up anytime you're coming off a disrupted stretch. The end of summer, the week after a bad flu, the stretch right after a new baby, a big move, a busy season at work. 2 or 3 sessions, moderate intensity, familiar movement patterns. You're not proving anything here. You're just letting your body and your calendar remember what it feels like showing up. Every athlete I've ever programmed has had a build phase. It's never treated like a setback. It's the on-ramp and it's expected. All right. The peak phase. Once there's a base underneath you, this is where you push. More load, more frequency, if your life has room for it. A strength goal, a race you've been building towards. For a lot of my clients, this lines up with fall. Once school routines are settled and the calendar has some predictability again, but the peak phases aren't permanent and they're not supposed to. They're a window. The maintenance phase. This is the one I really, 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 really want you to hear because it's usually where that guilt creeps in most. Maintenance is not falling off. Maintenance is what carries you through the busy stretch of the school year, the holiday season, the months where work is demanding more of you, the season where your kids' schedules become your own schedules. It's 2 sessions instead of 4. It's showing up for less time, but showing up. This phase might run for months. That's not a failure. That's consistency. That's consistency doing exactly what it's supposed to do during a full life. The recovery phase. This is one the industry conveniently leaves out. Recovery is programmed, not earned through suffering first. It's the week or the stretch where you scale way back on purpose before your body forces the issue. Think about your year honestly. The week of family vacation, the week after a big race, the holidays, when your priority is generally your people, not your program. Those aren't lapses. Those are recovery phases, whether you call them or not. And here's the part that matters the most. These 4 phases aren't in a straight line that you walk through once. They're in a cycle you build. They're a cycle. You build, you peak, you maintain through every busy season, you recover on purpose, then you build again when the next window opens. A full year might move through the cycle 2 or 3 times, shaped around your actual life. School years, holidays, travel, race season, whatever your rhythm looks like. So instead of asking, how do I get back on track? Start asking, what phase am I in right now? What does my life actually need for my training during it? This question keeps you in relationship with your training all year long instead of on and off. There's no wagon, and there never, ever was. What you have is a rhythm, one that includes building, pushing, holding steady, stepping back on repeat. For as long as you're doing this, summer wasn't a break from your training. It was part of it. So August pulls the calendar back in, and I want you to leave the guilt where it belongs, which is nowhere. Pick up the framework instead. Build, peak, maintain, recover. That's not a fall from consistency. That's what consistency actually looks like. Until next time, keep moving forward, one step, one rep, 1 mile at a time. Thank you for tuning in to Miles from Review, powered by Catfit Strength. If this podcast inspires you, don't keep it for yourself. Hit follow or subscribe to stay updated on the new episodes and leave us a review to help more women and moms discover this space. Your feedback fuels this podcast, and I'd love to hear what's working for you or what topics you want to dive into next. You can connect with me on Instagram at Catfit Strength or share this episode with a friend who is ready to embrace her strength. Remember, fitness isn't about perfection. It's about showing up for yourself and finding strength in every step of your journey. Until next time, keep moving forward, 1 mile at a time.